Hello everyone. This is Veronica Fala. I am coming to you with get this, get this sip and relationship tips. Let's sip on that. Sip and relationship tips. I'll take a sip before I start. So today's tip is going to be on communication. Communication is something that we all have had to learn to develop. In developing communication, I believe the first step for me in developing communication is being in a position of hearing the voice of God. And in hearing the voice of God, I do that by practicing a discipline of meditation. And that is not easy. It is not easy at all. So uh, we can't take meditation lightly because meditation takes some time for you to kind of calm yourself down and getting yourself in a position to hear God's voice, which is the voice we hear within. We can hear it within us as we read, as we communicate and talk to other people. And most of all, we hear it when we take time and being still to hear what God has to say to us about the plans and the great journeys God will have us to go on. Me just can't think of another word right now. So yeah, the journeys that we would take. So communication is our key in helping us grow in relationships. And first of all, in communicating, we have to be transparent. Are we transparent with those that we are in relationships with about things we will and will not do? Or are we the type of person to kind of go along to get along? Like when confrontation comes up, we don't really address it. We kind of like just take a back seat and let it happen. We don't speak our truth on what we are actually experiencing. So when we don't speak our truth on what we're experiencing, we doing ourselves a disservice in any relationships. So my goal to you this day is to help you understand the power of communication that you have. You have the power. And if you don't know how to connect to that power of communicating effectively with the people that God will have you in relationships with, I invite you to take some time and practice a stance of meditation. And in practicing meditation, it's going to help you to bring yourself into oneness with God. And as you bring yourself in oneness with God, you will be able to understand the voice of God that is within yourself. And understanding God's voice within yourself, you will know how to live out the plan that God has designed for your life. Because we know a lot of people are called to certain areas, but few people are chosen in certain areas. So if you're in the area of building relationships, or you're in the area to connect with someone, be it a partner, spouse, or a job, or a faith community, whatever area you are trying to grow in or you're trying to connect with, you're going to have to communicate. And that communication is going to take some practice of you being candid, being transparent, and just speaking your truth in a loving way. So, communication is our tip for the day. Oh, get your glass, drink your tip. We'll sip on this tip of communication. I'm going to sip right now because I'm messing my words up a little bit, but I don't want to do that too long or too many times. So, anyway, let's sip. So let's do something here. Let's take a moment of meditation because I know that in order for us to understand where God is leading us and how God is going to help us communicate with others, we have to be able to be still. Be still and hear God's voice. So in your own way, just get yourself in an area. Go ahead and take a deep breath in. Release it. slowly. And just being aware of those sounds that you may hear, those things you may hear, those things you may taste, those things you may smell, those things you may touch, feel, whatever it is, to be aware of everything because God is concerned about you in those relationships you are connecting in. And this day, this time, this moment, we're just kind of going with the theme of communication. Think about your community, how you communicate with others, and are you transparent? Do you share what you will and will not do in your relationships? Take a deep breath in, release it. Yes, God has some things for you. And sometimes those things God has for you in communication, it's going to take you just having some time of quietness. So the tip for the day again is communicate. I want you to communicate effectively in every area of your life. And as you join me, hopefully, whenever I post a video, I'm not that good in posting a lot of videos, but when it's in my spirit, I put it out there. So it's been in my spirit to kind of just talk about some communication things on being transparent, being candid, let people know how you feel. There's nothing wrong with that. Just do it in a loving way and take some time and discipline yourself in some meditation. Self-discipline is going to take you there. Because if when we discipline ourselves in an area of care and support for self-care, then we can actually be in relationships with others as God will have us to be in those relationships. So it's me, Veronica Fala, just joining, inviting you to join me for SIP and relationship tips. Yes, we can do this. We can live those lives that are rewarding and just empowering and doing those things that we gifted to do and being true to ourselves, being true to ourselves in healthy ways. Even when it's uncomfortable, sometimes things are not comfortable, like doing videos. They're not that comfortable, but we need to know that our best interest is in mind for ourselves and for those that we are in relationships with, and God who has created us has our best interest in mind. And sometimes we don't get those things unless we are in a position of being still and knowing where we are and where we're called to be. So I am happy that you tuned in and just you listening to me and you taking some of these things. So throughout the year, I'm going to get back on. I'm not going to say how often, but I will get back on and share more tips on relationships. I love you with the love of God, and it's nothing you can do about it but love what God has given you. Okay? Take care.